from the street, 9.com. Here's what's happening.
Good afternoon. I am Vanessa Thomas with the 4 o'clock news on the street, 919 FM, and online Facebook and YouTube, sponsored by TN Tech, the power to make it work. In the headlines, flooding, fallen trees, and landslides reported across Trinidad. Tobago is prepared for rough weather brought on by Hurricane Elsa. News outside of Trinidad and Tobago, hurricane warning down to storm warning for Barbados. And now the news in detail. The Ministry of Rural Development has said there have been reports of street and flash flooding, landslides and fallen trees across Trinidad. A flood alert remains in effect. The country was also expected to enter a yellow level adverse weather alert from 2 p.m. In a press release today, the ministry said its line minister, Kazim Hossain, wanted to assure the public that the disaster management units remain on high alert. The Met Office again reiterated that Hurricane Elsa poses no direct threat to TNT, but heavy rainfall overnight has led to local pounding in some areas and flooding in some areas due to filled drains and smaller watercourses. Major rivers continue to be contained at this time. In more news, the Tobago Emergency Management Agency is on standby in the event of landslides, flooding, clearing fallen trees, and other emergency arising from inclement weather associated with the passage of Hurricane Elsa. The National Hurricane Center confirmed earlier today that Elsa strengthened from a tropical storm into a hurricane, but the system again poses no direct threat to Trinidad and Tobago. According to the latest weather alert issued by the Trinidad and Tobago Met Service, periods of intermittent moderate to heavy rain and showers are now expected from later today, with an 80% chance of thunderstorm activity associated with feeder band and peripheral activity from Elsa. Heavy rains have already produced street and flash flooding in some parts of East and South Trinidad, but there have so far been no reports from Tobago. Associated activity is expected to continue into tomorrow and may cause street and flash flooding, landslide, and fallen trees. Meanwhile, sailings of the Buku Reef, APT James, and the Cabo Star have been affected due to rough sea conditions. All marine interests, especially those in the east of Tobago, such as Roxborough, Speyside, and Charlottesville, have been advised to anchor their vessels at sea, are agitated due to strong winds. News outside of Trinidad and Tobago, a hurricane warning is now in effect for the southern portion of Haiti from Port-au-Prince to the southern border with the Dominican Republic. The government of Jamaica has also issued a hurricane watch and a tropical storm warning for Jamaica. Tropical storm watches and warnings are in effect for Grenada, Barbados, Dominica, and other Caribbean territories. And that was the 4 o'clock news on the street, 919 FM, and online Facebook and YouTube. Sponsored by TN Tech, the power to make it work. Recapping the headlines, flooding, fallen trees, and landslides reported across Trinidad. Tobago is prepared for rough weather brought on by Hurricane Elsa. News outside of Trinidad and Tobago, hurricane warning down to storm warning for Barbados. Stay tuned to the street, 919 FM. I am Vanessa Thomas. Do enjoy your afternoon and do have a safe weekend.
News from the street. News from the street. 919fm.com.